Good evening. I'm Ed Murrow. The name of the program is Person to Person. Tonight we'll be making our first visit to Havana, Cuba, to call on the leader of the recent revolution, Dr. Fidel Castro. And we'll also be going up to Stockbridge, Massachusetts, to visit with illustrator Norman Rockwell and his family. We'll be ready to go right after a word from Bob Wright, speaking for Kent.
Today, with so many confusing filter cigarette claims and special filters, it's important to remember Kent with its full filter action. Filters best of all leading filter cigarettes. You get less tars and nicotine in the smoke of Kent than in any other leading filter cigarette. Now that phrase, in the smoke, is important because after all, it's the smoke which comes through the filter that counts. And in the smoke which comes through Kent's exclusive Micronite filter, you get the rich taste of the world's finest natural leaf tobaccos. Yet, you get the least tars and nicotine of any leading filter cigarette. So for full filter action against tars and nicotine, it makes good sense to smoke Kent, and good smoking too. Now, back to Edward R. Murrow.
Just 30 days ago, Fidel Castro entered Havana to be greeted by cheering mobs as one of the greatest heroes in Cuba's history. A week before that, General Batista and his top aides had fled the country, leaving it to Castro, his rebel army, and their supporters. It has been a very busy month for Fidel Castro and the people of Cuba, marked by worldwide interest, both acclaim and criticism. This week, Fidel, as everyone in Cuba calls him, has been away in the hill country, where he made his home for 2 years. A few hours ago, he returned to his apartment on the 23rd floor of the Havana Hilton Hotel in the center of the city, just a short distance from the presidential palace. Good evening, Fidel Castro.
Good evening.
You must have had a very busy week. How do you feel?
Well, I feel well, something tired, but we have to work very much. Here I am resting some minutes because this night I have to continue my job.
Well, Fidel Castro, at the age of 32, you now have in your hands a great deal of power and a great deal of responsibility. Aren't you a little frightened by this?
Well, really not frightened because I have self-confidence, but something worry, of course.
Not frightened, but a little worried.
Yes.
What about your personal safety? This is something you must think about, or doesn't that worry you?
Really, what I think is that I have no time to think in my personal safety.
Is it true that you go wandering about the streets occasionally all by yourself?
Yes, of course. I like to be alone most of the time. My friends don't like, and sometimes they come with me. But really, I don't like to be with personal guard.
Tell me, Fidel Castro, are you concerned at all about the communist influence in Cuba?
Oh, I am not worried because really there is not threat about communism here in Cuba.
Fidel, I'm told that you saw your mother for the first time in 4 years this Christmas Eve. That must have been quite a reunion. What did she have to say to you?
Well, really, what I remember is that she began to cry at the beginning and that in several minutes she could not tell any word to me.
Well, I'm sure she must have asked about her grandson. Wasn't Fidelito supposed to be with us tonight?
Yes. You want Fidelito?
Hello, Fidel Jr.
Hi.
That's a very good-looking puppy you have there. Is he yours?
No, it's somebody gave it to my father for a present.
Uh-huh. Do you have a dog of your own?
Yes, I have 2 dogs.
2 dogs? What kind of dogs are they?
Well, of all the little.
Just small ones, huh? Fidel, when was the last time you were in the United States?
Well, I was in the United States from October to December in 1955.
In 1955?
Yes.
When do you think you'll be visiting us again?
Oh, well, I should lie. I think when I have a chance.
Well, will that be with the beard or without it?
Well, it's possible if I go soon to the United States with the beard, because I am not thinking now to cut my beard, because I am accustomed to my beard, and my beard means many things to my country. When we have fulfilled our promise of good government, I will cut my beard.
Fidelito, have you heard from any of your friends at school here in New York?
Yes. I got a book here from some of my friends.
A book of letters?
Yes.
Well, now, what did they say?
To Fidel Castro Jr. from his class at PS 20 Queens, New York, USA.
Oh, wonderful. A lot of letters in that book?
Yes.
You must be very proud of them.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Fidelito. We won't keep you up any longer. Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Fidel Castro, were you as good-looking as your son when you were his age?
If you want, I can show some pictures that I have here.
Yes.
This, for example, when I was a student, and this, I suppose this is a picture of myself when I was a child. I am not very much sure.
Youth is a wonderful period. Sometimes I suppose we appreciate it too late. Fidel Castro, what do you remember about your childhood?
Well, as you know, one remembers many things, but what I more remember are the mountains and the fields during my vacations in our land. I remember very much those days when I rode in the childs and in the fields and in the mountains.
Well, the Cuban liberator, Jose Marti, was a particular hero of yours, I believe. And many others who have taken part in the liberation movements, the successful ones, have frequently mentioned the element of luck. Do you believe in luck?
Well, what I think is that in the life of every man, luck is a part and job is the other part.
Was there ever a time in the fight that you led that you thought things might not work out, that something would go wrong?
Well, sometimes we had difficulties. Everything were not always perfectly, but I was always surely of the victory.
Well, Fidel Castro, what about the trials of Batista's followers? If they were starting all over again, would you like to have them handled any differently?
Well, I think, and with myself, all our people, that they are just. Not perfectly, because we are not living now in normal conditions. And everything be perfectly, but our condition now are not normal conditions. But you and all the people of the world can be sure they are just trying. We cannot do them better.
So if you had it to do over again, you would do it very much as it has been done. Is that right?
Well, without some small mistakes as a consequence of the experience of everything.
I wonder if you could tell us, or would be willing to tell us, anything about the source of your arms and money during the revolution.
Would you like to repeat?
The principal source of your arms and your money during the revolution.
Well,
perhaps someone off camera could translate it if I didn't make that clear.
Well, really, many people, I can say that all the people helped myself with money, all the people of Cuba, people of all social classes. And about arms, really, the arms with which we got the victory were the arms from enemy soldiers, because fighting with them, we got the arms from their hands, fighting very hard. And every month, more arms and more arms. And during 2 years, we got thousands of arms from the enemy soldiers. That was the first fountain of arms.
This is one of the great arts of guerrilla warfare, isn't it? To be able to acquire your arms from the enemy, whomever that enemy happens to be.
Yes.
Fidel Castro, what do you wish most for your country in the months ahead?
Really, in the next months and in all the future, what I wish more for my country is peace and progress.
Do you expect that the tourist travel will be resumed to Cuba? That the tourists will come again?
Well, if you help us, for example, the United States citizens, I know that they like Cuba very much, and I see them here very happy. I find every day many tourists here in our country, and all day shakes hand to me and congratulate me because they see in Cuba what is happening and that we have peace here. What I ask from the United States citizens is that they come here to visit Cuba, that is a wonderful and friendship country.
Tell me, when you have a moment or two to relax, do you ever get to take a swim or see a movie?
I cannot answer because really I have no time.
You have no time?
I don't know how long can I work so long. I have not stopped. My hour of work are 20 hours. I cannot protest to anybody.
Can you remember the last book you read?
Well, I was reading about the Nuremberg judge with the criminal wars, about the criminal of war, the war criminals.
Yes.
Yes, and about Nuremberg judge, where the United States, England, French, and the nation punished the war criminals. That was the last book I read.
Fidel, who would you say are the real heroes of the revolution?
Well, I think that the real hero was the people of Cuba. That is the truth. That is what I think.
Thank you very much, Fidel Castro, for letting us come and visit you in your hotel tonight. And will you say good night to Fidelito for us, please? Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
In just a moment, we'll take you for a visit with Norman Rockwell and his family. And now here again, speaking for Kent, is Bob Wright.